Have you heard of the New Deal Resettlement Act that took place during the Great Depression under President Franklin D. Roosevelt? Well, today I am in Dyess County, the home of Johnny Cash, one of the many settlements that were established based on the New Deal. You see, the country was in a Great Depression, and the president had to come up with a plan to stimulate the economy. So the New Deal established resettlement colonies in cities and towns and settlements where swampland had the best resource for cotton. That once the swamps are drained, the actual soil is very rich, specifically for cotton harvest. So Dyess County became one of those areas for resettlement in the South. So wherever people were from, 500 families migrated to this particular colony or settlement and started their families. Each one was given 20 acres of land, and they had to build upon those 20 acres of land. African Americans in particular came here as well to start over. They would be able to own their land and not have to share crop. But unfortunately, they were discriminated against even here, even under the New Deal. Instead of giving them 20 acres of land, they received much less than 20 acres of land, which made it very difficult for them to make a living on their farms. 20 acres of land, according to some of the locals here today, wasn't even enough for families to survive. Between 1938, when the actual colony was established, and 1956, the colony grew from 2,700 families down to between 300 to 800 families. And now the population of Dyess County is only 360 people, because the farms were so small that people had to collapse those farms, sell those farms, and move on to other places. The people who purchased the farms grew in acreage, in acres, with acres sustained, from 20 acres to 40 acres, from 40 acres to 80 acres, from 80 acres to 120, 160 acres, and so forth. When Johnny Cash family left this area, his family owned 400 acres of land. Today, you can only see fields where there used to be houses. In this area, there's about 6 houses left in this town, but it went from 500 down because, again, 20 acres was only enough to feed one's family and not enough to profit, particularly when it comes to African Americans who had less than 20 acres. They really couldn't profit. They could only feed their families. The New Deal failed in its attempt to resettle people here to stimulate the economy. But the thing about Johnny Cash was he wore an all-black suit. And according to him, it represented his relationship to minorities. It represented the plight of minorities also. Even in his song, Men in Black, he talked about why he wore the black suit and how he wanted to represent the minorities because of what his experience. He experienced what took place with African Americans here, and he experienced what took place throughout his lifetime. So salute to him for his efforts, his compassion, and his sympathy, and his idea of equality and hope for all Americans. Unlike most of my scavenger hunt experiences, this one was quite weird. I traveled on dirt roads for at least 40 minutes to get to this location. I traveled through fields. Several times I thought about turning back and turning around, but I was too deep in it. I'm Dr. Mario Wallace with the Black History Scavenger Hunting. Peace.